a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Will.i.am. William James Adams Jr., known professionally as Will.i.am, is an American musician and actor. He is best known as a founding member of the hip-hop group the Black Eyed Peas. Will.i.am has also released 4 solo albums. The first, Lost Change, was released on October 2, 2001 through Atlantic Records and is an original album. The second solo album, Must Be 21, was released on September 23, 2003. The track, Go, was regularly used as the theme for the NBA Live 2005 and Madden NFL 2005 seasons. The third album, Songs About Girls, was released on September 25, 2007. He released his fourth studio album, Illpower, in 2013. Will.i.am is also a music producer. He has produced with other artists including Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, Kesha, Britney Spears, Miley Cyrus, David Guetta, U2, Rihanna, Cheryl, Lady Gaga, Usher, Justin Timberlake, Rahman, Nicki Minaj, To Anyone, and Baby Kaely. In collaborations and with the Black Eyed Peas, he has a total of 41 top 40 entries on the UK singles chart since 1998, and has sold 9.4 million singles in the UK. Early life. William James Adams Jr. was born in East Side, Los Angeles, and was raised in the Estrada Courts housing projects in the Boyle Heights neighborhood, where he and his family were among the few African Americans living in a predominantly Hispanic community. Adams has never met his father, William Adams Sr. He was raised by his mother, Deborah, who encouraged him to be unique and to avoid conforming to the tendencies of the other youths in his neighborhood on the east side of Los Angeles. To encourage his musical career, she sent him to public schools in affluent West Los Angeles. While attending John Marshall High School, he became best friends with Alan Pineda, who was also a future member of the Black Eyed Peas. While still in high school, Adams and Pineda performed in East LA clubs and were soon joined by 3 other entertainers to form the socially conscious rap group, Edban Clan. Edban Clan caught the eye of Compton rapper Eazy-E and was signed to his label, Ruthless Records, in 1992. Adams used to attend raves while in high school. He later said his history with rave culture is why he chose a more electro sound for the Black Eyed Peas albums The END and The Beginning. Despite the use of electro and house music elements, Will.i.am prefers to separate the underground from pop. In an article with Los Angeles Times, he mentions that secrecy over the whereabouts of raves is what made raving special and different from the mainstream. 1988, 200, Formations and the Black Eyed Peas. Will.i.am's music career began in the summer of 1988 when, as an 8th grader, he met up with fellow rapper Alan Pineda and fellow student Dante Santiago. They began performing together around Los Angeles and were soon discovered by rapper/entrepreneur Eazy-E, who signed them to his label Ruthless Records in 1992. At the time, Will was known as Will.1x. Edban Clan's first ever official track, Merry Motherfuckin' Christmas, was included on Eazy-E's episode 5150, Home 4th Arsick. After this, the trio began recording an album, Grassroots, with the help of producers Mookie Mook and DJ Motivate, but the album was never released due to Eazy-E's death in 1995. After Eazy's tragic death, they changed their name to Black Eyed Pods, and Will replaced Dante with Jaime Gomez, better known under his stage name of Taboo. In 1997, they once again changed their name, this time to the Black Eyed Peas, and began recording their first album, Behind the Front, with the help of soul singer Kim Hill. They were soon signed to Interscope Records, and released their debut single, Joints and Jam, in early 1998. The album was successful enough for the group's contract to be renewed, and in 2000, a second album, Bridging the Gap, was released. 200, 2003, Lost Change, Elephunk and Must Be 21. Following the release of Bridging the Gap, Will began recording his first solo release, Lost Change, which was the official soundtrack to the film of the same name. Featuring collaborations with Medusa, Planet Asia, and Terry Dexter, the album was a critical success. In November 2001, work began on a third Black Eyed Peas album, Elephunk. Development of the album began on November 2, 2001, and was released just under 2 years later in 2003. At the time of development, only Will.i.am, Apple the App and Taboo were to feature on the album. During the production of Shut Up, they realized that a female vocal would work well with the song. Originally, Nicole Scherzinger was approached to make a guest appearance on the record. She was forced to decline because she already was signed to a contract with Eden's crush. Dante Santiago then introduced Fergie to Will, who was impressed with her vocal talents. She immediately formed a bond with the band and became a permanent member of the Peas, and her photo was printed onto the album cover. 9 out of the 14 tracks were composed by lyricist Robbie Fisher, who has been working closely with the band since the beginning stages of the album. In the United States, Elephunk reached number 14 on the Billboard Top 200 and is their first album to chart in the top 15. It gained even more commercial success in the UK album charts, where it reached number 3. It has sold over 1.6 million copies in the UK and 8.5 million copies worldwide. The singles, Where Is the Love and Shut Up, reached number 1. Hey Mama has been used for several advertisements, including advertisements for Apple and iTunes. Let's Get It Started also received universal acclaim in the media section, where a cover version of the song appears in the film Hot Tub Time Machine. After the success of Elephunk, the Peas were approached by EA Games to feature some of their music on the 2004 game The Herbs. They remixed some of the tracks on Elephunk and translated it into Simlish and created new tracks for the game. They also feature in the game as playable characters. The group released their breakthrough single, Where Is the Love, in November 2002. On the strength of that single and follow-up singles like Shut Up, Elephunk went on to sell 8.5 million copies worldwide. During this time, Will recorded a second solo album, Must Be 21. In 2002, Will recording the song, Secrets, for the soundtrack to Dexter's Laboratory, the hip-hop experiment, a musical accompaniment to the Cartoon Network original series. Prior to this, he had also composed the theme music for another Genndy Tartakovsky series, Samurai Jack. 2003-2006, Monkey Business. In November 2003, work began on a fourth Black Eyed Peas album, entitled Monkey Business, the second album with new band member Fergie. Upon the success of Monkey Business, which was released in 2005, the album was certified 3 times platinum by the RIAA in the US and has sold over 10 million copies worldwide. The Canadian Recording Industry Association has certified Monkey Business 6x platinum, with sales of over 600,000 copies. The Australian Recording Industry Association has also certified Monkey Business 6x Platinum, denoting sales of over 420,000 copies. The album's tracks earned the group 4 2006 Grammy Award nominations, and they also won the Grammy for Best Rap Performance by a duo or group for Don't Funk With My Heart. According to IFB, over 2 million copies have been sold in Europe. In the UK alone, it has sold over 1 million copies, although this is significantly lower than their sales of Elephunk, which stand at over 1.6 million copies and 10 million worldwide. The band announced they were going to take a break to focus on their own personal projects. Will went on to produce Ferguson's first solo album, The Duchess, which was released in 2006, before beginning work with Michael Jackson, who had requested Will's expertise for the recording and production of his new album. Work began on the Jackson album in 2006, and continued until the singer's death in 2009, at which point Will revealed that none of the material recorded during the period would be released. However, remixes recorded for Jackson's Thriller 25 anniversary album were released in 2008. 2007-2009, Songs About Girls and Changes Now. In 2007, Will announced that he had co-created an all-female soul band entitled the Paradiso Girls, who he intended to work with on an upcoming solo project. The album, Songs About Girls, was released in 2007. The album spawned 3 singles, I Got It From My Mama, One More Chance, and Heartbreaker, and fared slightly better than his previous solo efforts, however, failed to shift more than 75,000 copies. Will also did a remix to the song With Love by actress and singer Hilary Duff. In 2008, Will contributed the song, One Tribe, to the Survival International charity album, Songs for Survival. Also in 2008, Will featured on rapper Flo Rida's debut album, Mail on Sunday, where he produced and featured on the song, In the Air, and featured on Usher's fifth album, Here I Stand. In January 2008, Will announced plans that he was masterminding a political album, Change Is Now, Renewing America's Promise, in support of Barack Obama's presidential campaign. The first single, Yes We Can, featured a music video directed by Jesse Dillon. The lyrics of the song are composed almost entirely of excerpts from Obama's speech on January 8, 2008, following the New Hampshire presidential primary election. The video features appearances from numerous celebrities including Scarlett Johansson, Tatiana Ali, John Legend, Herbie Hancock, Kate Walsh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Adam Rodriguez, Kelly Hu, Hill Harper, Amber Valletta, Eric Balfour, Aisha Tyler, Nicole Scherzinger, Nick Cannon, Brian Greenberg, and Common, and first appeared on the website for Dip Dive. The video racked up 3 million views within a week and over 4 million subsequently on YouTube. On June 13, 2008, Yes We Can won an award at the 35th Annual Creative Arts and Entertainment Daytime Emmy Awards for New Approaches in Daytime Entertainment. On February 29, 2008, the album's second single, We Are the Ones, was released on Dip Dive and YouTube, including cameo appearances from Jessica Alba, Ryan Felipe, Kerry Washington, pop-punk band Yellowcard's frontman, Ryan Key, John Leguizamo, Regina King, Tyrese Gibson, Eric Mabius, Tachina Arnold, Adrian Parlitsky, comedian George Lopez, and singers Macy Gray, Zoe Kravitz in the Black Eyed Peas' Taboo. The video features everyone chanting WikiAm as a portrayal as their hopes and wishes for Barack Obama and his presidential campaign. On November 4, 2008, Will.i.am spoke to CNN's Anderson Cooper about his support for then-Senator Obama using CNN's hologram technology. Following the 2008 election, and Obama's victory, Will released the album's third single, It's a New Day. The video reflects on the historical events that led to the election of the first African-American president and the public's reaction to his election. The video features celebrities such as Fergie, Olivia Wilde, Kanye West, Harold Perrineau, Kevin Bacon, and his wife Kyra Sedgwick. The video debuted on The Oprah Winfrey Show. In honor of the inauguration of Barack Obama as president, Will.i.am collaborated with producer David Foster on the album's fourth single, America's Song, with contributing vocals from Seal, Bono, Mary J. Blige, and Faith Hill. In response to Barack Obama's reaction following Kanye West's interruption of Taylor Swift at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, Will.i.am penned the album's fifth and final single, the Jackass song. It featured a sample of Kanye West's Heartless. Will wrote a blog post, which featured the song on Dip Dive, and released in February 2009. Will.i.am attended and spoke at the first robotics competition kickoff on January 8, 2011, declaring, "I am a first fan." He has also named first founder Dean Carmen, one of his heroes, on his verified Twitter account. 2009 present, Black Eyed Peas Reformation and Illpower. In March 2009, Will.i.am announced plans for the Black Eyed Peas to return, and within months, their comeback single, Boom Boom Pow, had reached #1 on the UK singles chart and Billboard Hot 100. They went on to have 3 #1 singles before releasing their comeback album, The End. The album's success warranted a second comeback album, The Beginning, released in November 2010. The album spawned another 3 hit singles, but the band soon announced plans they were to break again, following the conclusion of their world tour. In 2009, Will.i.am worked with rappers Flo Rida and Akon for Flo's second studio album, ROOTS, and recorded 4 tracks with Girls Aloud member Cheryl Cole for her debut solo album 3 Words. He also worked with Rihanna on her 4th studio album, Rated R, for a track called Photographs. In February 2010, he wrote and produced the single, OMG, by Usher, which appeared on Usher's 7th studio album, Rahman vs. Raymond. In a YouTube video posted by YG Life Official on March 15, 2010, Will.i.am expressed his desire to work with Korean K-pop girl group To Anyone, and help them achieve international success. Will has recorded a collaboration with Britney Spears, Big Fat Bass, which features on her 7th studio album, Femme Fatale. During the recording of the Black Eyed Peas' 6th studio album, The Beginning, band colleague Fergie announced in an interview that Will.i.am was in the process of recording a new solo album, tentatively entitled Black Einstein. Will.i.am formally announced that he was in the process of recording a 4th solo album, with some material being recorded under the pseudonym Super Black. In January 2010, a cut from the album, I'm in the House, a collaboration with Steve Aoki, was released as a single, charting at 9 on the UK singles chart due to strong downloads. In October 2010, a second cut from the album, Check It Out, a collaboration with Trinidadian rapper Nicki Minaj, peaked at on the UK singles chart. In February 2011, a third cut from the album, Dance, a collaboration with Natalia Kills, peaked at 2 on the UK singles chart. The music video was directed by James Sutton, and features a cameo by Natalia. In April 2011, Will.i.am recorded 4 songs for the soundtrack of the animated film Rio, in which he voiced a character. Hot Wings, Drop It Low, Real in Rio, and Advice for the Young at Heart, featuring an array of artists including Jamie Foxx, Anne Hathaway and Tears for Fears. None of the songs managed to chart, however. Will announced that he was going to remix the tracks for inclusion on Black Einstein. In September 2011, a 4th cut from the album, Forever, a collaboration with Wolfgang Gartner, was released as a single. It was around this time that Will.i.am announced that he changed the title of the album from Black Einstein to Illpower. The video premiered on August 26, 2011. In November 2011, Will premiered what is intended to be the album's official lead single, The, a collaboration with Jennifer Lopez and Mick Jagger. Will announced via his Twitter that the video for The was filmed in LA, and that before he returned home, he stopped off in Brazil to film the video for the album's second official single, Great Times. In December 2011, a 5th cut from the album, Party Like an Animal, a collaboration with Dutch singer Eva Simons and LMFAO, premiered at the HTC Beats launch party. Will.i.am also announced he has collaborations with Britney Spears, Alicia Keys, Busta Rhymes, Swizz Beatz and a couple others on the album. He also stated there is a possibility Shakira could feature on the album. Illpower is due for release in 2013. Will.i.am later confirmed that Cheryl Cole and Justin Bieber would also appear on Illpower. In mid-October, Britney Spears confirmed on her Twitter account that she had filmed the music video for the single she was featuring in called Scream and Shout. He was among the performers at the Diamond Jubilee concert held outside Buckingham Palace on June 4, 2012. The first song broadcast from Mars was his new single, Reach for the Stars. He discussed and listened to it with a live audience at NASA in Pasadena, California after it was returned from Curiosity rover. Will.i.am featured in the song, Hall of Fame, by The Script. It debuted onto radio on July 23, 2012 and was released for digital download on August 21, 2012. He later featured in Priyanka Chopra's debut single, In My City. It was announced in October 2012 that Will.i.am will feature on Kesha's second album Warrior on the track, Crazy Kids. He also co-wrote and co-produced the Dr. Luke-produced track. In November 2012, Will.i.am released the 3rd single from Illpower, which was Scream and Shout, featuring Britney Spears. It debuted in the top 20 on the Billboard 100, eventually reaching a peak of number 3 and debuting at number 2 on the UK singles chart and reaching number 1 in January 2013 for 2 weeks. During an interview with Capital FM, Will.i.am confirmed he had collaborated with Justin Bieber for his next release, Hat Power, and premiered the single on the same day it was released onto iTunes in the US the same day and debuted on the Billboard 100 at number 42. In April 2013, Will.i.am and Chris Brown's track, Let's Go, also from the Illpower album, became the center of a copyright controversy, with trance producers Artie and Matt Joe claiming that Will.i.am used elements of their 2011 track, Rebound, in his song Without Permission, from the artists or their label. This claim was later backed by Anjunabeats, the record label behind Artie and Matt Joe. Will.i.am's fourth studio album Illpower was re-released in December 2013 featuring several new tracks, including the lead single, Feelin' Myself, featuring Miley Cyrus, French Montana, and Wiz Khalifa. Will.i.am was also featured in Britney Spears' song, It Should Be Easy, on her eighth studio album Britney Jean, where he co-wrote and produced several tracks. On April 4, 2014, Will appeared on Alan Carr, Chatty Man, where he talked about plans to release his own smartwatch. He revealed that it can be used as a phone, to store music, and use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. He also showed a preview of a music video for a song called It's My Birthday. On May 20, 2014, a 90 seconds snippet was uploaded to SoundCloud. It features American singer-songwriter Cody Wise, is produced by Will and Damian Leroy and is written by himself, Cody Wise, and Keith Harris. It was released on July 6, 2014. In an interview with Capital FM, Will confirmed that the Black Eyed Peas were getting back together. On April 7, Will.i.am released the single, Boys and Girls, featuring Pia Mia. A week later on April 14, a new remix of Mona Lisa Smile, featuring Nicole Scherzinger was released. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?